Cultural contribution. Number 1. Administration. Please note everything. The Vijayanagara ruler provided a good system of administration. They also provided internal peace to the empire and protection for external threats. The rulers of Vijayanagara introduced a strong central government along with the decentralization of power. Decentralization means transfer of power from central to local government. So let's see central administration. Monarchy was existing system. King was the head of the state. Protection and welfare of his subject was his duty. The king was the chief lawmaker and the highest court of appeal. The Vijayanagara kings were known for their judicious means wise judgment. Death sentences, imprisonments, and fines were imposed upon the criminals. Sometimes criminals were cast down before an elephant and trampled or crushed to death. Kingship was hereditary. Yuvaraja was associated with the administration. There was a council of ministers to assist the king in the administration. The ministers played an important role in the administration of the Vijayanagara Empire. They supervised over many departments and advised the king in taking proper decisions. The important officers of that time were, please note this, so the important officers of that time were Mahapradhani, Prime Minister, Upapradhani, Deputy Prime Minister, Dantanayaka, Commander-in-Chief, Mahasamantadipadi, Minister of Feudatories, Raya Bandari, Minister of Royal Treasury, Sabhanayaka, Leader of the Council, and Mahasandhi Vigrahi, Foreign Affairs. The spy system was well organized. Provincial administration. There were two types of provinces in the Vijayanagara Empire. The first kind was directly ruled by the king's representatives and second by the feudatories. So the provincial rule by the feudatories or Nayakas was called Nayankara system. So the provincial head looked after the law and order in their provinces. The Nayankara system, the provincial rule by the feudatories gave more autonomy. Autonomy means what? Self-government to the feudatories. The king had the power to transfer or remove the provincial officers. King was considered as the owner of the land. He distributed land to his dependents. Those dependents who supervised these lands were known as Nayakas. So these Nayakas were to pay annual tributes to the king and had to maintain military troops for war. The Nayakas were military vassals who met the financial obligation. It meant that they are supposed to pay outstanding pay or regular pay of the kings. These Nayakas maintained military and civil representatives in the court of the king. This helped in the smooth administration. Village administration. Village was the smallest unit of administration. The other units were the agraharas and the towns. There were village assemblies to look after the progress of the villages, construction of tanks, temples, halls, etc., and the maintenance of water for drinking and irrigation were the important duties of these assemblies. The head of the village administration was Gauda. You heard the name, it seems. Collection of revenue was his main duty. The village accounts were looked after by the Karanika. Another official of village was Talavara, who discharged the duties of a policeman. Revenue system. Listen carefully. Land revenue was the main source of income to the state. Generally, it was at the rate of 1/6 of the gross produce. Property and commercial taxes, tax on industries, war booty, judicial fines, and tax on all professions, including prostitution, formed other sources of income to the state. The taxes were collected in cash or kind. Next, with regard to military organization. Vijayanagara Empire had a strong military to safeguard the vast area from its enemies. The army was divided into elephant force, cavalry, and infantry. They procured or collected the Arabian horses from the Portuguese. The force played an important role in the warfare. During the Mahanavami festival, all the wings or groups of the army were paraded to test their capabilities. Number 2. Social condition. Social harmony or peace existed in the Vijayanagara Empire. Brahmanas had high position in the society. Blacksmiths, goldsmiths, weavers, farmers, and traders played a very important role in the social activities. Generally, women had an honorable status in the society. Few women received education. They practiced in the activities like dancing and singing. Evil practices like sati, prostitution, child marriage, and polygamy existed in the society, which lowered the position of women. Marriage was a sacred bond for them. The system of paying bride price was in practice. Muslims also settled in the Vijayanagara Empire. They were given security by the kings. The mosques were built for prayers and Quran was placed in a respectable place. The members of the royal family worshipped Hindu, Buddha, and Jaina deities and followed the common tenets, Mizwat principle of this religion. Hence, it is clear that social harmony prevailed in Vijayanagara Empire. Number 3. Economic condition. Agriculture was the main occupation of the people. They surveyed or looked the land and the revenue was fixed according to the quality of the soil. The rulers paid due attention to agriculture. Land was divided into wet, dry and horticulture. Horticulture means garden cultivation land. Rice, cereals, spices, beetles, arachnas, ginger, turmeric, fruits and flowers were the main products of agriculture. Dams, tanks and canals were built for irrigation and for drinking purposes. A huge tank was constructed by Krishnadeva near the southern entrance to Nagalapura. A dam and the Raya Channel. Raya Channel is the length of water joining narrow between two seas. So a dam and the Raya Channel were also built by him at the Korangal. Vyasaraja is a scholar, built Vyasasamudra in southern Karnataka. The construction and development of many wells and tanks helped in agriculture. Kings of Vijayanagara encouraged trade and commerce. The Vijayanagara Empire was known for brisk trade in textile. Brisk trade means what? Sold quickly and lots of money made or collected. So it tells that the Vijayanagara Empire was known for brisk trade in textile, precious stones, spices, etc. Vajrakarur mines in Andhra Pradesh supplied the most valuable diamonds. The goods of India were in high demand throughout the world. Main exports of the time were cloth, rice, sugar, spices, iron, etc. The important imports were elephants, horses, pearls, corals, mercury, silks, etc. There were about 200 ports on western and eastern coasts. Next, religion. The Vijayanagara Empire protected Hindu religion and culture from the onslaught. Onslaught means attack of the invaders. There was religious tolerance or allowed to follow every religion. So it tells that there was religious tolerance among the Hindus, Jains and Muslims. It was the duty of the kings to safeguard each and every religion in the empire. Muslims entered the Vijayanagara army from the day of Devaraya II. The Sangama rulers encouraged Shaivism and later rulers gave importance to Vaishnavism. Bhima Devi, the queen of Devaraya I, was a follower of Jainism. Devaraya II built a Jain basadi in his empire. Shravanabelagola inscription of Bukka first refers to the peace treaty between Sri Vaishnavas and Jains. These instances show the religious harmony in Vijayanagara Empire. The Vachana movement is arithmetic writing in Karnataka. So the Vachana movement was popular during this time and greatly contributed to the Dharma. Shunya Sampadani, a collection of Vachanas. Tada Siddhalinkayati wrote a number of Vachanas. Please note the point. Matas were established in many parts of the empire. The Varkari movement is Bhakti tradition of Lord Vittala of Pandarapura and the Dasakuta tradition were encouraged. These movements spread the principles of Vaishnavism. Important religious centers of the time were Hampi, Sringeri, Shravanabelagola, Sri Shaila, Sri Kalahasti, Ahobilam, Madurai, Srirangam and Huncha. Temples and matas were two notable religious institutions of this period. The temples were places of worship and the matas stood for spread of religious principle. They encouraged education and culture. Sringeri, Kanchi, Golaki, Udupi, Dharmapuram, Kodimata, were the notable matas of Vijayanagara period. Sometimes these matas and temples acted as landlords and bankers. The Virakta Mata. So this mata is for educational and literary activities. So the Virakta Mata gained importance during this period. The important religious festivals of this time were Mahanavami, Deepavali, Holi, etc. Education and literature. Agrahas, matas and temples played an important role in imparting or providing education. Dulakshara was a system of education which is referred in Mohana Tarangini of Kanakadasa. It was a system of learning to write on sand. So please note the point. Dulakshara is a system of education based on learning to write on sand. Primary education was called Balabodhi. Hampi, Kodimata, Sringeri, Yedayuru, Kunigal, etc. were notable centers of education of that time. Vijayanagara kings encouraged literary activities. Court poets and scholars were honored by the kings. Many kings and queens were themselves scholars. Sanskrit, Kannada, Telugu and other languages were encouraged. Some important literary works of the period are Sanskrit. Let's see the poets and scholars and literary works. Madhava Sayana. So his work is Parasara Madhaviya. Ganga Devi Veerakamparaya Charitam. Tirumalamba Varadambika Parinayam. Guru Vidyaranya Raja Kalanirnaya. Krishna Devaraya Jambavati Kalyanam Usha Parinayam. This you know before itself. Kannada. Most of that you read by yourself. This is about Kannada literature and the poet's name and even Telugu. Next, Ashtadiggajas. That means 8 great poets of Telugu flourished in the court of Krishna Devaraya. So let's see the court poets. They are Allasini Peddanna, Tenali Ramakrishna, Nandi Timmanna, Ramabhadriya, Durjati, Madayya Gari Mallanna, Pingali Suranna and Rama Raja Bhushanna. With regards to arts and architecture, the Vijayanagara rulers encouraged art and architecture. The capital city Hampi was a great center of art and architecture. They used Dravidian style of architecture and later added some unique features to it. It came to be called Vijayanagara style of architecture. Some of the important features of the Vijayanagara style are the temples. Number 1. The temples consist of Garbhagraha, Sukhanasi and Mahapandapa, Ardha Mantapa. Number 2. Granite was used for the construction of the monuments. 3. Pillars and piers are multi-angled. 4. The walls of temples contain sculptures of folklore, god, goddess, elf and horses, etc. 5. Sangeeta Mantapa were constructed in the premises of the temple for music, dance and drama. 6. Huge Raya Gopuras, that means huge great gateway, were built on the gateways of the temples. 7. Kalyana Mantapa were constructed in the temple for divine wedding. The monuments of Vijayanagara are scattered throughout the South India, but the finest of them are at Hampi. The Virupaksha temple, Vittala Swami temple, the stone chariot, Krishna Swami temple, Achyutaraya temple, the Hajara Ramaswamy temple and Mahanavami Dibba are in Hampi. The Lotus Mahal is an excellent example of Indo-Islamic style of architecture at Hampi. The Vidyashankara at Sringeri, Ramalingeshwara at Tadapatri, Veerabhadra at Lepakshi, Jalakanteshwara at Vellore, Ekambaranatha at Kanchipuram, Shiva at Chidambaram, Ranganatha at Srirangam, Meenakshi Sundareshwara temple at Madurai, etc. are other important temples. So you can see the picture. Stone chariot temple in Hampi, Kamala Mahal Hampi, Vidyashankar temple Sringeri. Sculptures. Architecture and sculpture developed side by side. Religion was the main theme for sculpture. Kadalekalu Ganesha, Sasivekalu Ganesha and Lakshmi Narasimha statues at Hampi are notable. Among the statues of this period is noted the name Irugappa Dandanayaka at Tiruparuthi Kundram was earliest. The copper images of Krishna Devaraya and his 2 queens Tirumala Devi and Chinna Devi at Tirupati Tirumala are in devotional mode. A stone statue of Krishna Devaraya is found at Chidambaram. Next, with regarding to the paintings. Painting flourished along with other arts in Vijayanagara Empire. Paintings can be seen on walls and ceilings of the temples. Hampi Anegondi and Lepakshi were centers of Vijayanagara paintings. The paintings of Virupaksha temple at Hampi and Veerabhadra temple at Lepakshi are related to Shaiva mythology, that's related to Shiva. The marriage of Pampamba with Virupaksha, Madana Vijaya and Tripura Samhara are great paintings. Lepakshi is called Achanta of Shaivism. So these are the names you need to remember. With regard to fine arts, dancing and music were encouraged during this period, since Vijayanagara time. Dasakutta, Vyasakutta. Actually, these are the two divisions of tradition. So here, Dasakutta, Vyasakutta of the time contributed to the development of music. Vadiraja, Vyasatirtha, Purandaradasa and Kanakadasa belong to this tradition. They composed devotional song called Kirtanas. Purandaradasa is called the father of Carnatic music, Karnataka Sankita Pitamaha. So please underline this. There were a good number of dancing halls at Vijayanagara. Bandhan Lakshmi Narayana was a dance master in the court of Krishna Devaraya. Please note this.